The Chrysler Drive Chronicles. I'm standing at Chrysler and Street DeVille, just like the Cadillac DeVille. And down that way is the Eldorado. And there's even a street called Renault, and that's how the French pronounce it, R-E-N-A-U-L-T, not Renault. But I'm on the street called Chrysler, and Chrysler was named that way because back in the middle of the 20th century, when these homes were being built in the early 1960s into the early 70s, Chrysler was the big three. There was Ford, there's General Motors, there's Chrysler. And the story of Chrysler and cars like the Cordoba with Corinthian leather, those have this iconic sound and memory for many of us as we grew up watching automotive commercials. Really the most prosperous industry in the world, petroleum, automotive, all that was just thriving when these homes were being built. So they're celebrating the prosperity and the opportunity that came with owning property that has a garage, a place to park your beautiful car, maybe 2 or 3 cars, right? So welcome to Chrysler Drive in Briarcliff Woods. As I'm walking down here, right across from me is Pendergrass Park. We got a beautiful park with a playground, great green space, trails, a bird sanctuary. It's all right here, right off of Chrysler, where at the very end down there, that's Briarcliff Road into Briarcliff Woods East. But right now we're in what we call Briarcliff Woods. It is to the west of Briarcliff. And just down the road that way is Lakeside High School, and just over that way is Sagamore Hills. And over that way is Oak Grove. But at Pendergrass Park, 1996, Chrysler Drive, back in the day, the developers around here came up with really cool ideas around the idea of the popularity of the American automobile. And there was even something even more significant about Chrysler. They almost went out of business. And boy, had they ever, in the past 20, 30 years, gone into different partnerships. But back in like 1980, I think it was 7, right when I graduated from college, Lee Iacocca, the president of Chrysler, got the United States government to bail the entire company out and save massive parts of the Rust Belt in Detroit and Michigan, making Chrysler still a brand name that today is viable and owned by, I think, French people again. I mentioned Renault. I can't even keep track of who owns Chrysler nowadays, but I will tell you this, prosperity still drives this neighborhood, and these streets are loaded with value. They're loaded with repeat purchaser value, time and time again now for decades. Great housing stock.